Welcome to the Rock Music Alliance interview sessions. I'm your host, Cole Coleman, along with Claudio Pesavento, who was keyboardist for Mahogany Rush and the Chris Squire Band. On our show today, you know him from his catchy melodic rock songs Dirty Little Secret, Creatures of the Night, Get in the Sun, and his just released new single, which is already gaining a lot of traction, Dangerous Love. Welcome to our show, Ben Owen.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing all right, Ben. Thanks for coming on. Ben, your newest single, Dangerous Love, was just released. Is there a video on the way for it?
The video that I put together is like a fun kind of creative, like TikTok style video, like long screen type thing, and just in the process of editing some clips together with Claudio and with some guitarists and stuff to kind of get like a full blown band type video. But I'm working on lots of creative stuff at the moment. It's quite like it's a tricky thing when you're faced with that kind of like world of social media. You've got to like edit videos super quick and be able to like create really imaginary content. But I'm trying to learn as fast as possible.
Oh, I can totally relate. And anybody listening out there, I would love to have some great TikTok sharp editor hop on board for the Rock Music Alliance. Give me an email. Yeah. Your brand of melodic rock is really well known for having video vixens. In your coming videos, are any video vixens coming on board?
I mean, Claudio was actually he was trying to hook me up with somebody, and we were in the process of maybe doing something like that, where we would have like a cool kind of guest star featured in the video. But I mean, there's four singles coming out this year, including Dangerous Love. So there's another three. There's a lot of scope for kind of, video, creative, like art stuff. So keep your eyes peeled.
Are you the sole writer, or are you collaborating for your songs?
So I am the sole writer of my music. Like I am it's my music that's been composed. It's all original stuff. Over the years, I've done a lot of covers. I did start to, really get into the whole like acoustic covers on YouTube. I've always written songs, and this new batch of stuff that I'm working on right now is the strongest stuff that I've ever written, and I'm so proud of it. It's taken a good couple of years in the studio to track this material, but it has got a lot of people featured on it, such as Claudio playing keys, and we've got like a few guitarists and things that feature too.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about guest players. Are there, any guest players in your music? You mentioned Claudio.
Yeah. So Claudio reached out to me on social media actually, like a couple of years back when I was working with a friend of Claudio's called Mike, and I was doing a track with Mike, and Claudio sent me a direct message, and he was like, "Oh my God, I love your voice. You're amazing," and stuff. And he was like, he was just really nice to me and like really supportive of what I was doing. Flash forward to today, we kind of started speaking a bit more, and I didn't actually realize the amount of work that Claudio's done in his life. So it's like eye-opening for me to hear about kind of that world. I've already got like a huge batch of songs, like a massive catalogue of songs written. I sent some material to Claudio, and he's put some keys down for me. So it's really good. Yeah.
Good. Is he also helping out with like production in general, or is it just giving you some keyboard tracks?
He's helping me out a lot with like, I'd say in a management kind of perspective as well, like kind of supporting me and trying to get me some opportunities and things like that as well. Like he's trying to create a bit of a network within the rock world and kind of open me up to new people. So
Yeah, I'm his manager.
Yeah, and he mentioned that you're working in a managerial way. Yeah.
I'm his
yeah,
manager. I manage his fortune.
So
manage my mini fortune. Yeah.
yeah, so Claudio, you're playing keyboards on there. Any other aspect that you're doing? Ben mentioned some maybe pulling in some other musicians. Any other guest players in Ben's music?
Well, everything is a mystery now because we want to keep it secret, like the
Ah,
Hollywood vampires, you know. You know, the Hollywood vampires, they don't like to talk about what they do, but you know what we do, what they do, because we have connections. But uh, yeah, we have some big names in there. Uh, I like to help with the producing and how to mix keyboards properly.
yeah,
Uh, I like to bring my input because you know, think about 80s. You know, you can't repeat the 80s, but you can make it better. So I like to bring new sounds and new vision. You know, of how to, you know,
I
you know,
gotcha.
he does a good job at doing what he does. I mean, obviously he loves the 80s. It's in his blood. But he
Well,
likes everything.
well, in running the Rock Music Alliance, I mean, I listen to a lot of music, and guys, there's like that particular style. It's a style that lives on. It's not like it's not retro. It's actually happening right now. That there's fresh new bands coming up that are in that style and that really are further developing that style. So you're right in there. Just
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
We also co-writing some of my songs that I have. I was looking for a singer for a long time. I was working with all these girls. They always flake. They want to be auto-tune all the time. I said, no, you have to sing it properly. I don't want to auto-tune it, you know. And then they said, no, you fix it, you know. So I got tired of that, you know. They were young and they have good voices, but the artist side, there was no artistic uh, energy, you know. But they're good singers, you know. But
I think in this kind
Coleman,
of world,
I met him through Mike K, Mike Krompas.
Yeah.
He was on a video, one of his songs, Mike Band. What's the name of the band?
well, it was originally called the Fell, wasn't it? It was the band that Mike put together with
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Billy
but after
Sheehan and
he had romance something.
but
No,
but
what's
it
it called?
changed, yeah. So when I joined, I sort of like discussed with Mike about changing the name, and we came up with the name Dead Romantic. But I'm not exactly sure what he's doing with that these days. I'm not sure if he's. I think he's formed a
He's
new
still with the same
project.
band. He's still with the romance. What do you call it?
Uh,
Uh,
Dead Romantic. Yeah.
yeah, romantic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, from what
yeah.
I've heard, he's still producing with that. He's still working on that project. It sounds great as well. Mike's a heck of a producer and guitar player.
He is so good. He's a great producer, and he's just an awesome guitarist as well. Like as a guy in the studio, he's like incredible. And he really worked me so hard on that track that we did together. Like in terms of the vocals, yeah, he's great.
He told Mike is especially on torturing singers. They make it sing the songs like 2,000 times, and you know, and the song is too high. Say, no, you can do it. You can do it again. It's like you know, you end up dead at the end of the session.
Well,
I see it.
well, Ben,
Yes.
I know like if people find you on YouTube, they're going to notice that you've got 92,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. Wow,
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah.
it is, man. Are you performing live right now, and does that translate into concert goers?
So I played a gig the other day, and it's kind of like I'm really gonna plan now to do more solo shows. I played like a little music festival in like a local town called Aldland Music Festival. And that was really good fun because it was me solo, so just me stripped back on an acoustic guitar, performing my own tracks. But yeah, there is scope to put a band together, but that has got to be done properly. And obviously, it's pretty costly as well because you've got to bring people in, pay the musicians for playing and things. But it's all a work in progress at the moment. I'm definitely going to be doing more solo acoustic shows because that's a way to see me strip back and see me perform some of those covers as well from the YouTube channel that I've got. So I love to play stuff like Warrant and Rat and Skid Row and Guns N' Roses, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great. And I noticed like your music would pair really nicely with a lot of different style of rock as well. I mean, like many different types of bands could have you as an opening act. For instance, so you would do really well. Like say, well, first, is there anyone particular you'd like to open for and get out on the road?
it's really hard to pick a specific band, but
You like rap?
I
You like
absolutely love
rap?
that. Yeah. I mean, if I could open for Stephen Pearcy or something, yeah, that would be insane. I'd
I
have to be I'd have to be over there in LA for that though, definitely. Um,
I call it Desmond Child to ask him to work with us. You know Desmond Child,
Sure.
Cole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I called him and I told him about him, and I sent him the songs, and he said, "I just retired last week. Otherwise, I love the stuff. You guys make the '80s back again, like wow." I said, "Yeah, So it was sad that we couldn't work with him, but
Well, Desmond Child would be great. I mean, Holly Knight, she would be terrific in writing songs along with Ben. But Ben, you seem to be doing great on your own. So I would keep cultivating your own skills.
yeah, definitely, and also collaborating, like you were mentioning before. It's just all kind of like projecting that rock kind of genre across, but it's really broad. I'm playing 80s kind of stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like inspired by 80s music, but the music that I listen to is wide. Like I listen to all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine, like say, like in listening to your music, I was thinking like, well, who this guy sound great with. And I mean, literally so many different bands, but I got to say, I think you would actually really sound great as an opener for Crossbone Scully. That's
Oh,
Tommy
that would be
Henrikson's new band.
insane.
yeah,
Yeah,
I can,
Roswell liked the song. He
I
loved
can
the
hear it.
song.
I can hear it. Like, Crossbone Scully. I mean, they're very catchy songs as well. Uh, you know,
amazing. Yeah, I absolutely.
just kind of produced in a slightly different way than yours is, but they're actually kind of similar. So
Yeah,
I would definitely you opening up for Crossbone Scully, I think would make a great show.
there's a
But I think,
track coming. Yeah,
yeah,
there's a track coming in the next few months, which will probably be on the album. Like it's probably going to be next year now. Like, but obviously times can change slightly. But there's a track that I've written called "Getaway," which is so reminiscent of like AC/DC and that kind of like old school Mutt Lange style production. And I think that would be like super amazing to like perform that to a Crossbone Scully audience too, because it's
it'd be great.
really like up that scene.
It'd be great, and maybe, perhaps even think of maybe a guest spot, maybe a guest spot for somebody in Crossbone Scully to jump in, something like that. Yeah, I think, there's also a band called Dorothy. That's a pretty,
Oh yeah,
pretty recent smash through type of band. I mean, they just kind of seem to come out of nowhere and they're playing stadiums. But I could hear you opening for Dorothy, and I can even hear you opening up for Nita Strauss. Nita Strauss as an
oh,
instrumentalist. But like,
she's incredible.
you opening up in front of her show would be great. And I know over in Europe, there's a band called Heat,
Heat,
and
yeah.
you would be a great opener for Heat. So, guys, any of you artists listening, then Nita,
Let's
Dorothy,
go.
Crossbone, Heat, do it, man. Yeah, Well, I'll
I
tell
think
you
he
what.
wants to open for Rat, so forget about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Let's take a
That's
sample
the number
listen.
one.
Yeah, let's take a sample listen to your latest single, "Dangerous Love." All right.
Perfect. Amazing.
Oh, okay. So here we go, guys. Here's about a minute and a half of Ben Owen's "Dangerous Love" on the Rock Music Alliance Radio Network.
Cut you like a knife, and she'll make you feel like you can't take no more. I was careless, love was blind. I'm a victim of the crimes, and even after all this time, I won't let go, no, no. Oh, I couldn't see the warning signs holding me back from you. Your love is dangerous. You've got dangerous love. There's a hunger on a
Great stuff, Ben. Really, man. That's really catchy, and it's stadium shouting fun stuff. Is what like
Thank you.
I've checked out all of your releases, and people listening, it's all high energy, fun stuff. It sounds great and it's fun to listen to, fun to sing along with. It's good songs and really good production. Claudio, I hear you're involved in the production. I got to say, man, good job, and I like your keyboard work very much in Ben's stuff. It sounded good.
I did 5 songs with him already, I think. 5 songs we did?
Yeah, we've done a fair few tracks, yeah. And obviously the tracks that are available right now, the only one with Claudio on that you can hear is Dangerous Love. But the new single that's coming out on the 21st of June, it's called ILY, and that's got Claudio on it, and the keys are amazing. So
well, can't wait to hear that, But
I can't wait to hear that too.
Pardon?
I can't wait to hear it.
You can't wait to hear it yourself, even though you played it. Yeah. Oh, it's a really like super catchy melodic rock track. I mean, it's in the same avenue as Dangerous Love, but equally it kind of goes a bit more into that European kind of like stadium rock sound, like you mentioned, Heat and stuff like that. I'd kind of throw that into there with it, like Reckless Love and Crash Diet and bands like that. It's not like just exactly the same. It's a little bit different, but I think the keys give it that like sparkly 80s kind of vibe.
It's a combination.
Yeah. Well, guys, like I say, it's really not retro. From what I'm hearing in doing the RMA Awards, for the Rock Music Alliance, it's don't call it 80s retro or it's not. This is current stuff that's happening right now. Like say Heat is carrying it forward. You're carrying that type of thing forward. You're moving forward is what you're doing. You're picking up.
Absolutely.
Picking up an older style, but you're doing it in a new way with new technology. So you're really carrying it forward.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, again, like you say, if you reproduce something like that and go back to like old style production, it would just be a replica of what's already been done. So, you've got to carry the flag forward. And also, there's loads of bands out there that kind of, I think they tried to do it over the years, but you've got to have that integrity. You've got to believe in who you are. You've got to do the music that you love and what you feel. It's literally all about that, really, isn't it? Because, like, if you don't do music that you want to do, you'll be unhappy with it. So just do whatever makes you happy.
You have to, as an artist, you have to be true to yourself. You really do.
Absolutely.
Cole, I want to tell you, he showed me stuff that he did early, like it was more like a metal influence. Remember you showed me the stuff? The stuff that was more like a... Remember I told you I was playing with a neoclassical metal band, and you say you did that before?
Yeah,
you did it, right?
I mean, I've done all sorts over the years in terms of like trying loads of different styles. And one of the things I would love to do, if anyone listening out there wants to do this as well, is write for like films and TV and kind of like different types of media. Because I've got so many tracks that are kind of, they wouldn't exactly work for the style that I'm doing right now. But I'd love to go for an alias, or I'd love to like just write for all sorts of different opportunities that are out there. So I kind of, when I went back into the studio about 2 years ago to track all this new stuff, I was in a bit of it kind of made me think, what is the sound that I want to go for? I actually had to record about 5 different tracks before I kind of got onto this pathway of it sounding like this. So I don't know, I think it takes a bit of time really to establish yourself and kind of like look inside yourself and go, this is what I want to do. This is the sound I want to play.
Yeah, and that it takes that, and it also changes and evolves, hopefully. So, your own sound may grow and evolve as you go forward,
Definitely, yeah.
We have some people trying to help us to put the songs on the radio. Like Bob Bachman, from the series. He's gonna do it, and I talked to E31 too, and he says he's very busy now, but we have too much music going on, but probably he's gonna play it on his radio.
It's been a big
That's
big
what
fan
we
of
need.
Eddie as well for a long
We
time.
need like a little radio, something.
Yeah, yeah. In this age, you still really need a radio promoter, and it's really evolving into radio and social media promotion all at the same time. So you still got to get promotions happening.
Totally.
Yeah.
And what's kind of difficult too is, the world of like Spotify and Apple Music and things like that. The chance to get playlisted as like an artist that's, underground and low key, it's so small. It can happen. You can get picked up by Spotify or Apple Music and get playlisted, but the chance is so small. So you actually have to put quite a lot of financial backing into getting yourself heard and getting more people to listen to you and promote yourself and stuff. And if you've got people like Claudio that can tell people about it, then that's always good, because you need to constantly be spreading the word around about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the Rock Music Alliance is based on talent, not on popularity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Attention guitar players, join the Thimble Slide revolution and free your slide finger. The Thimble Slide is a mini guitar slide designed to be worn on the tip of your finger, about 3/4 of the way down your fingernail. When worn there, you can still bend your finger, and most importantly, it's allowing enough of your fingertip through so you can press the guitar strings. The Thimble Slide is larger at the back and smaller at the front, so it follows the contour of your finger. So when you're wearing the slide, it's not loose or rattling around on your fingertip. This also allows your other fingertips in nice and close for playing. The sizing gap allows you to make the slide a little bit larger or a little bit smaller for a nice custom fit. So while you're wearing a Thimble Slide, you can, of course, use it as a slide. But more importantly, it allows you to still fret the strings so you can play the guitar. You can play chords. You can play lines while wearing it. You can bend strings with your ring finger. You can drag your fingertip across the strings if you need to. You can do pull-offs, hammer-ons. So there you go. You can actually still really do all the things you need to do to keep playing guitars like that. With its patented shape, you can slide and fret while wearing the Thimble Slide. Visit thimbleslide.com. That's thimbleslide.com. So Ben, I got to ask you about those 92,000 YouTube subscribers. Wow, if each of those subscribers would just kick in $1, for every video release. Wow, man. Then you'd have some funding to be able to do some promotions, But how do you accumulate 92,000? Did you do any promotions or television, something?
You asked me the question. It's probably the biggest question out there, really. I mean, I can't tell you how it didn't happen overnight. It's taken, years of grafting, really, like on YouTube, doing covers of stuff that I loved. And I also have done a lot of collaborations over the years with like friends and people that I've worked with and people that I used to teach guitar to as well, because I've like taught guitar to loads of people over the years. And I guess like it's just, some of it is a lot of luck as well. Like you pick a song and then it just gets heard. Like there's, I think the biggest video on my channel is a cover of Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. Mm-hmm. And I honestly don't know why that blew up. Like it just seemed to go pretty viral, like from the day I posted it. I can remember the day I posted it, it maybe had like a few thousand, then it had 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. And now it's on about God knows how many million. It's like, it's on a good few million. And I mean, I don't check this stuff every day or even regularly, because I love the fact that people listen, and I love the fact that people support me like that. But I don't want to dive into it too deep and start going like, because there are some like, there's amazing comments, and then there's like some really like strange stuff on there as well, and you're like, oh my god. But there's some amazing people that have supported me over the years, honestly. Like, YouTube's a great platform if you can get you kind of head into it and put your own stuff out there.
Well, they pay you. YouTube pay you, right?
Yeah, so I've got to say, like years ago, when I started doing YouTube and actually posting covers, I was paid a lot more than I am these days. I think the pay has gone down significantly. But that's probably not really something that we should go.
What about TikTok?
I think TikTok's a good one, but you know, we were speaking with your friend James the other day about that, weren't we? And I think TikTok's a good one.
Cool. Hey, Ben, take us back to your origins. You know, where were you born and raised, and how did you get into music?
So I was born and raised in the UK. That's where I live. I live in England, and I've basically grown up in a little town in the Midlands, a little place called Stone, Staffordshire. But what's quite funny is around this area, we have a heck of a lot of musicians that have made it to become huge, like Lemmy, for example. Lemmy grew up about a few miles away. He grew up in a place in Stoke-on-Trent. Slash was born over here as well. He was born in Stoke, and then he emigrated over to LA, I think, when he was a kid. And Robert Plant was not so far away. Rob Halford from Judas Priest. There's loads of them over here. Ozzy Osbourne. But yeah, I kind of got into music because it was always around me, because my mom is a piano teacher, and from when I was a baby, she was playing classical music a lot. So I kind of like inherited a heck of a lot of classical music going on all the time, and it just didn't, I think subconsciously it inspired me to create my own music as well.
Sounds like it. How many different instruments do you play?
So, you know, by ear I can play whatever I pick up. I can play an instrument, but I wouldn't profess to be like some sort of virtuoso on like a saxophone or something, but I can work things out. So if you give me something, I can work it out. But you know, actually, as a proper instrument, guitar would be my first instrument. I can play keys. I can't read any music or anything though. So I've always just listened, you know, just played by ear. But when I'm composing my own stuff, I write all the parts. So I kind of create it through a piece of software called Ableton, and I'll just record everything live first, and then create some demos, and then I'll send it round to my friends and get them to play on stuff as well. Because the thing is as well, I wouldn't want to say like I'm the best drummer in the world or something. I would get somebody that was really good to play, you know.
I got you. But that's one thing that's really terrific about the time that we're living in, is that the virtual instruments have become so good that you can, what you're hearing in your head, you can actually get out and you know, and like you say, you may not be virtuoso, but you can get the expression across and be able to show it, and you can show it to other musicians like Claudio, and so they can get where you're going with it, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Get the real guy on it afterwards, but kind of set the song up. Yeah.
That's true.
By the way, Marcus Nant played the solo on Dangerous Love.
On Dangerous Love.
No,
Yeah.
Marcus Nant played the solo. Marcus. You know Marcus, right, Cole?
Say the name again.
Marcus Nant.
Oh, sure, of course, Marcus. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we just spoke to Marcus not long ago. Terrific player.
Did you? Oh, nice. Yeah. You see, like I've never actually had. It's Claudio that hooked me up with Marcus. I've never met him or anything, but no, he's an amazing player. It was really cool actually how he did that, because I sent the track off to Claudio and Claudio played the keys, and then he was like, do you want my friend to play guitar on it? And I was like, okay, cool. And Marcus just ripped this insane solo straight out. I was like, where did that come from?
Very cool. Yeah, Claudio knows quite a few guitar players that are, quite very skilled. So you have
Yeah,
access
next
to
to
some
Jimi
great guitar
Hendrix.
players. What's that,
I
Claudio?
was very close. I was very close friends with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, there you go. Boy, a few years ago, Ben, you might have had Stevie Ray Vaughan guest on your
Stevie
your,
Ray
your
Vaughan.
song.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? That would have been insane.
Yeah,
Jimi
yeah,
Hendrix, I couldn't make it to that one, but yeah.
yeah. Now, when you were growing up and through your teenage years, did you get into? Was there a cover band scene going on there, and did you get into that?
So more so like I used to do open mics a lot. So I've kind of like I I basically would pitch up to open mics every week and play loads of covers, my own stuff, and I'd have my friends coming over, and it'd be like a little party, like at the pub. We'd just have like loads of people gathered round, singing songs all night, and it was great because it was like that really worked me to practice as well. Like every single week, I was practicing. It'd be a Wednesday night. I'd pitch up with my equipment, and I had to work every single Wednesday to do it, you know. So and it's kind of, I think as well, when you get into that involvement as well, you learn how to develop your skill in front of an audience, which is so important too.
Absolutely. Stagecraft. You're learning your
Yeah,
stagecraft. Yeah, we
absolutely. Yeah.
got time for just a couple more questions here, and I wanted to ask, you're Ben, you're a signed artist on Golden Robot label. How did you come to their attention? How did that all happen for you?
So it's yeah, I mean it's amazing to work with Golden Robot. I'm actually working with Golden Robot Distro, which is the distribution service for Golden Robot. Yeah, and now I was hooked up through them through Claudio's connections again. Claudio knows a guy whose name is Mick, and he plays in a band on Golden Robot. And they've been around for a long time, you know, and it kind of just started through a few conversations. Golden Robot liked what I was doing, and we're going to do 4 singles together this year. And I actually had a chat with the label executive the other day about kind of what we're going to work towards, and we're thinking it's going to be 4 singles and then an EP at the end of the year. And then, you know, who knows where we'll be by then, but it'd be really cool to, like you said at the beginning, to work towards that album.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I see it being done most often these days is, just like single after single after single, and then when you've released enough singles, you can group them together. Like after eight to 10 singles, group them together into an album, and
Yeah.
and then move on to the next level. That's a good way
So,
to do it. Or I mean, you could skip the album altogether, but for some reason people do seem to do that though. They release single after single and then wrap it all up and win an album.
yeah, I think I just really want to have developed the audience to a point of where there was like enough listeners for me to go, okay, it's time to check the album out now. You know, I don't want to sort of put an album together too soon because it could just, I just wouldn't want people not to get a chance to hear it, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
hopefully,
that's why the single approach is great because it gives a chance for each individual song to get attention.
yeah,
You know.
to impact, yeah, definitely. I like that.
Yeah. Now, Golden Robot, do they have their own in-house promotions team, or are you looking at getting an outside radio and social media promotion?
So I have to do that as well. Yeah. In terms of the marketing, they market it to their audience, but I've got some guys that I've worked with PR and things as well. So I'm going to have to do a bit of everything. You know, do my own PR, ask other people if they can do some too, and then the record label will do some as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And then
know
Claudio.
Nita Strauss, I believe, is on Sumerian Records, and from what I've heard, most of their promotions is all in-house. I mean, their Sumerian's in-house promotion team is amazing, I would say.
Yeah.
I would try to look up who's involved with them and see if there's any opportunities there. They're doing terrific. Um,
Amazing.
yeah. Well, Ben, what would you say, coming up to our last question here, what is the next step for you? Like, what's Ben going to be doing next week and next month?
So the next step for me in the short term is to prepare for this new single, which is called ILY. It comes out on the 21st of June. There'll be a pre-save date coming from the 7th of June, which I'll be posting all about in my social media. I'm going to do some videos. I'm going to create hopefully a full music video for this track. It'd be really cool to get like a proper full music video. Basically, this year is going to be singles year. And then gigs, you know, get out there and play more solo gigs, get out there and put a band together as well with the right people. I'd love to come over there and work with Claudio and actually, you know, hook up together and get some stuff going, because
it'd be great to have you over here in the Hollywood scene and, you know, get you playing a show out here. They're going to love you, I think.
It's what I've always dreamed of, literally. Like, since I was a kid, I was reading Kerrang! Magazine, Metal Hammer Magazine, and it was the LA rock scene that caught my eye, you know. The first band I ever saw was Motley Crue when I was a kid, when they did like a comeback tour over here in the UK. And the second band was LA Guns over at a local venue. And I was right at the front for LA Guns. It was amazing. I got a chance to see Steve Riley so close up and everything. It was great.
LA Guns, they're right here, man. We see them, you know, every couple months. They're gigging somewhere where we see them. We see Tracy out on the scene guesting, you know, with people here and there, and of course doing a show with LA Guns. Yeah, I mean, it's all here, man. All the people you're mentioning, they're all here. You got to come and visit or something. And Claudio knows just an amazing list of people, so you know you'll have a chance to meet quite a few. You know, and anybody listening to me, I kid you not, I've checked out Ben's music. It is terrific stuff, you know, very melodic, very catchy. It's stadium shouting, fun, great energy stuff. Good stuff. You know, yeah.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah.
And good job, Claudio.
He's helping me out with my songs too.
Yeah, and good job, Claudio.
He's singing on my stuff too.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Claudio's working on his own solo release, so that's good that you're singing on there too. That's good.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome.
Great, man. Well, Ben, that brings us to the end of our show today with you. You know, good luck with your forthcoming releases. I foresee a lot of great things happening for you, dude. I really do.
Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you both.
Right. Yeah, people listening, you can keep in touch with Ben on social media. And Ben, do you have a website? I had trouble finding it. Do you have a website out there?
So it's basically, it's just iambenowen.com. And then you can find all my social media on there. You can see my merch page. I've got a little merch page on there with some t-shirts that people can buy. And that's where I'm going to be posting up like pre-releases, pre-saves and things like that straight away. So iambenowen.com.
Thanks for being our guest today on the Rock Music Alliance interview sessions. Ciao, man.
Lovely to be here. Thank you.
I'm Cole Coleman, and for Claudio Pesavento, the Rock Music Alliance, and the RMA Awards, thanks for watching and listening. Visit us at rockmusicalliance.com and check out this year's RMA Awards for rock, metal, and progressive rock music.